Hi, I have a tutorial for you today. Just came up with an idea for my vintage bags. I love carrying a vintage bag every day. I really enjoy just carrying a piece of history around, and I just like how they look with my outfits. I really feel feminine with them, and so I have quite a collection. But what I was finding is I have a little problem with fitting my items in the bags themselves because they are so very narrow. This vintage bag, it looks like, you know, it might hold quite a lot, but without these inserts it doesn't really hold that much. So because they're so narrow, and a lot of vintage bags are about an inch to an inch and a half to 3 inches wide, so that's not a lot of room for everything that you might be carrying today. So I have this tutorial for you today. I hope this might be helpful for you. This is how I started, but this here is what it looks like. This is a panel that I made up for this bag in particular. It will not fit into any other bags. It's designed for this bag, and it's designed for these particular items. And so I want to teach you today how you might be able to create your own panels for your particular items. So what I would suggest is that you might get some vintage fabric, because these bags, they really do scream for vintage. They scream for vintage fabric. You can use regular fabric by all means, whatever you have. The other suggestion that I would have for you is I would suggest making these panels up in a lighter colored fabric, because I find there's nothing worse than looking into a bag that's black so or really dark fabric, because it's really hard to find your items. But I find that if I have a lighter colored fabric, it shows up so much better. I'm able to get my item quickly and shut my purse and go on my way. But I hope this tutorial will be helpful to you. I hope that you'll make one of these panels up for your bag and let me know how it goes, and get that bag out. Enjoy it. It is so lovely and beautiful to carry, and so let's get started. This is what you'll need for the project. You're going to need some foam mounting dots. Those are double-sided, heavy duty. They're great for these bags. About a ½ yard of fabric. You're going to need some tape to tape your items in with, just temporarily, a marking pen, some thread, of course your scissors, some heavy-duty stabilizer. This is a pretty heavy stabilizer. It's probably just one step from the heaviest down. I don't know the exact weight of it. You're also going to need your sewing machine, possibly your serger, and all the items that you want to carry in your bag. Okay, as you can see, I have a stabilizer and I'm putting it into the back wall of the purse. My objective in this is to get it behind these little flaps. You see this flap here? But as you notice, I have this stabilizer, it is too high up on my purse. So I am going to mark that. I'm going to trim that, so I will trim it this way, and then I've already trimmed it this way. So that's what you're going to want to do first with your bag. Okay, I hope that you can see this. I have the stabilizer and it is underneath the rim of my purse here, okay? I do not want to have that coming up over my rim, because I will not be able to shut my purse. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the fabric, we're going to measure this piece here, and we're going to make an inch larger all the way around this square. And then we're going to sew that flat onto the stabilizer. Okay, you can see how I've stitched around the back of the last panel, and I did go ahead and I used my iron and just ironed it out a little bit, and now I'm going to stick it in my bag and see how everything fits. Okay, you can see how I have both panels in. They're fitting very nicely under the rim here, and they are getting tucked a little bit underneath these flaps, which is really helpful with the vintage purse. So now I'm going to get the items that I'm going to carry, and I'm going to tape those on. I'm going to show you how you can close your purse. You got to close your purse with your stuff. I've taped all my items into place to see if they're going to fit on my panels, and I have my Advil and my hairbrush, my blusher, which I want on that side, and then on this side I have my powder and my lipstick and my cell phone. I'm leaving this space open here for my wallet. I have a slender wallet that I will stick down in there, and then in the very bottom you'll see that you're able to actually, if you wear glasses, you can actually put a pair of glasses. These are big sunglasses, but they can actually fit down the bottom. They are too tall for this bag. Okay, right now I'm actually just eyeballing my items to see how much fabric I might need for the panel. I usually don't measure this because I find it's a little more accurate if I actually use my items. So as you can see, I have about 1 to 2 inches of fabric here because that's going to go around the back side of my panel, and then I'm going to put a seam here, another seam here, another seam here, and a seam here, and one over here, and then I'm going to wrap the other side around my panel. I'm sorry if you can't see this very well. I'm not a very good cameraman. But anyway, so I know now I'm going to have to trim about from here over and then down. And I'm going to give myself about 1 to 2 inches on the bottom so I can wrap that around the back of my panel and sew along the edge there. And I'm also going to serge this right here because I want a really nice clean line. I'm going to fold that under and put a nice stitch right there. You'll also notice that my item is peeking out of the top. I've made the mistake of making these too tall, and then my item I have to grab underneath it to grab it, and I don't want to do that. I want it to peek out a little bit so I can grab it quickly and put it right back. So let's get started with sewing it up. And I'm going to wrap the fabric around back. I've already checked the height of where I want my item, so I want to be able to pull it out. So it's about right there, so I'm going to stitch on the back side. Remember, this isn't going to be seen from the front, so don't worry about that. So I have the first one done, and so I'm going to take my item. I know this looks a little scary, but it really is okay. It works. And I'm just going to lay my item flat. Pull my fabric that direction, and I'm going to get my machine as close to the edge of this as possible without pulling it so tight that I won't be able to remove my item. So that's about right. I'm going to start at the edge, and I'm going to work my way right up the item. And I'm going to go slow because I don't want to hurt my machine in any way. I'm going to back stitch, and then as you can see, I have my first pocket for my first item. We're not going to worry about this until we're done. We're going to gather this up and make pleats, and then that will be pulled around. So now I'm going to take my next item and continue on until I have this panel completely done and ready for my items. So I'll show you the rest of this in just a couple of minutes. I'll get the bag together, and then I'll show you where to put the dots. Okay, like this is a tall item, so I'm going to first put this down, and my arm is going to probably come down here, so I don't want it to hit my Advil because it might hurt it, so I'm just going to take it out. I'm going to stitch. now let's get, so we have this, and I think we'll do this one. I'm going to set that down there, and I'm going to make sure that that hairbrush fits in there good. Otherwise, I'm going to be not a happy camper, and it doesn't fit. So I'm glad I checked that. You're going to want to check too. So let's pull a little bit more fabric out. Make it loose, but not so loose that it's just all over the place. Now, this is the tricky part. We have to take this fabric, this is extra fabric here, so I'm just going to trim that off because we don't need it right now. And we won't need it at all, so I'm going to get rid of that. Rid of the Advil. Now, we're going to take, and we're just going to pleat this up loosely. We don't want to pull it like this, or it's going to raise our items up and we're not going to be able to fit our items into the pocket. Because you can see how it's pulling that direction. Do you see how it's kind of going in a... So we want to gently and give it some pocket space. And then I'm going to distribute and ease this in all the way across. And then I'll show you what that looks like because I need to pin it. So let's do that. I'm easing a lot of the fabric right in the middle of my pocket, meaning the middle of each stitch here. So, it's a little tricky. You gotta go slow unless you're really just great seamstress, which I'm still learning. Then I'm gonna wrap that fabric around, making sure that it's even up here. And I'm going to trim off all this excess fabric on the back because I just don't need it. I want my panel to lay completely flat. Not so bad. It's looking pretty good to me. And then on this side, I have my cell phone, which I can easily take out, put back in, my hairbrush, my pen, and I'll probably put some gum in here maybe, and then my other lipstick. Now, this is the part where we're going to take the panel right out of there. You see, you can just lift it up, take it right out. And the other side, we will take it right out of there. It goes underneath there. I'm going to get the dots and I'm going to put those on the back, and then I'm going to put this in my bag, and I am going to enjoy carrying this vintage bag. The purse is complete now. I have all the things that I love to carry in it, and it's all right there for me. So the next time that I'm just out somewhere, I can quickly grab my cell phone, put it right back in the slot. I know it's not going to be jiggling around in my vintage bag, and I hope that you'll try this. It shuts really nice. I can carry everything now. I hope that you will try this and enjoy that vintage bag that you have. Get it out and just carry it.